Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 367. I'm one of your hosts, Gamecast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
It's me!
And Tony Korkanakis.
Woohoo!
I like that, guys. I like it. This is Mario Odyssey week.
Ooh.
Comes the 27th.
Well,
so
it should be Fire Emblem Warriors week, but...
No, it's Mario's week. Like, listen.
Yeah, it's Mario's week.
It's no shot to Fire Emblem Warriors, which I might eventually pick up at some point when it drops in price. But it's definitely Mario Odyssey week.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not be excited for Mario if you're a Mario fan.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
this is like the biggest Mario game on the biggest best-selling system.
I'm so excited to get this game. Actually, I'm trying to get through South Park, which I'll talk about later. But it's gonna be a challenge.
I'm so mad they fucking waited 1 week before Mario to launch Fire Emblem. Like, I really don't know what they were thinking. September was just wide open.
Did you get Fire Emblem?
Oh yeah, I got it.
Jesus. Oof.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we'll hear about that in a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, you will.
All right. Let's.
I talked about it on Slack.
Oh, okay. Maybe I missed it then. I don't know.
I saw you posted that you got it, Tony.
Yeah. Oh. All right, let's get into gaming news first. We're going to go with our lead discussion of the NeoGAF Fallout. We're going to start with that. We'll move into actual gaming news. We're not going to spend too much time on this, folks. If you haven't heard about it, what's his name?
Tyler Malka.
Malka?
A.k.a. Evilore from NeoGAF.
From NeoGAF. The guy who owns NeoGAF. I guess it came out over the weekend that there were some sexual harassment allegations or assault allegations from a woman that occurred years back, but it came out like very. What's funny is the way it came out was more like she wasn't trying to just call him out on it specifically.
Yeah. Supposedly, what happened was some woman posted it. The victim posted on Facebook and was not naming it, but gave enough details where somebody figured it out.
Oh.
Two and two together.
Right.
Yeah.
And basically even posted it on GAF, was like, hey, I don't know if it was his sister or his friend, was like, her brother that posted it was like, hey, all this stuff, and then people were like encouraging them to come out, and it came out that it was Evilore, and because I remember how it happened, all these threads just started popping out and asking for like an explanation or a statement or something. On a Saturday, because I was at a bachelor party, I was checking, and NeoGAF was down. I was like, oh, whatever, maybe, maintenance or whatever on the weekend. And I checked my Twitter, and all these people that I follow from NeoGAF on Twitter are just like posting like, yep, NeoGAF is having a meltdown. So allegedly what happened was the moderators and other admins got news of what happened, and then Evilore told them some stuff, and it wasn't satisfying enough, so they all quit. And the thing about NeoGAF is you can see who's a moderator or an admin, and that list started to like really shrink rapidly. So then all these people just started like overloading the forums, just like making shit posts, like shit threads.
It's amazing. The internet's so
necro bumping, like 10-year-old. Like I saw a thread started by Wario64 about Baldur's Gate on PlayStation 2 being $14.97 at Macy's from like 13 years ago. And it was like a sales thread. It's like, oh my god, like get the Baldur's Gate game for $14.97 or something like that. I'm like, wow, like fucking all these threads popping out of nowhere.
Site got pulled down.
Right. So then, because he didn't have admins and mods to lock and control shit, he took NeoGAF down, didn't make a statement, and then it just spread like wildfire because
it was everywhere.
Obviously, yeah, everywhere, like Kotaku, Polygon,
Rolling Stone.
Fox, yeah, even Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
So yeah, I was like, Jesus. So, we had discussions on Slack about this last night, like crazy. I mean, I know those who are listening or viewing may not have read those because it's not many of you. Like we have our own Slack and stuff, and you may have missed that conversation. It is a controversial discussion to have. Because there are obviously two sides where somebody may be innocent here in this situation and being accused, or they may have done what they're doing, what they're being accused of. The entire thing for me is after finding out about his backstory and the history of what's going on, this was more of the straw that broke the camel's back
Yeah.
than the incident itself, which may or may not be true. We're not sure about that situation, but this was like the last straw. So
Yeah, and it wasn't Yeah, I mean, you should always at least be willing to hear things, and I think it's the important thing.
And I think like his response, like,
and that's what it.
Yeah,
and that's what it was. It was the lack of timeliness on the response, and then the way things happened. So, just to summarize the rest of the story. So, GAF finally came back yesterday. So it was completely down for 2 days. No statement at all. People were just like, "Yep, like we just lost communities." It was kind of a shit show actually, because people in different like I'm part of like the League of Legends community there, like the Magic the Gathering, Sales Age, all that stuff. Like we've had years of like data and groups and all this stuff, and it's just like, oh nobody had a chance to like back stuff up or reach out to have like an alternative place to go for discussion, stuff like that. So all weekend long, people were just like starting Discords and whatnot. I mean, there's already like alternate forums going up and stuff.
This did not hit me until Monday. Like you sent that message and like
you did.
Whatever. And then I go into work on Monday and I'm like,
Monday was like one of the longest days of work because I was just like,
I kind of just usually like I'm not a I don't talk on GAF, and I kind of more recently started looking at like within the last year I was kind of like the first. Like, that's my first viewing of GAF, really. I stayed away from it quite often. Now I'm, like, kind of going there as my morning routine. I read the news. I read the meltdowns more than I love the meltdowns.
You go for the meltdowns.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love the responses. And NPD and all that stuff came out. I was, like, really looking forward to that on Monday. And I'm like, shit, there's no GAF to go to. So it's like, where do I go? And that's why I said on Slack, I'm like, so where do I go? And there's just really not much.
And that's the thing is you can't, like, I mean... You go to GameFAQs, that's a shit show. You go to GameSpot, that's a shit show. You can go to IGN, that's a shit show. Reddit, just too spread out. I mean, you have individual one. You have Switch and PlayStation 4 and Xbox threads, but you don't get the same level of discussion. The general video game forum is just a fucking subreddit. Is just, fuck that.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, I don't think Kotaku has anything. They might. I could be wrong.
Not anything like GameFAQs or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just comments. I mean, IGN comments are toxic.
Yeah, they are. I feel like I'm looking forward to the Reset Era one. Reset the Era. So that's a bunch of GAF members and mods that are leaving for their own forum, obviously. And that's the one I'm going to look at personally once it actually launches. I'll probably check in because it seems like those are the guys that would comment on a lot of the posts that I read, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they have, and hopefully it's a good community. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see about that. But I feel like it's the end of GAF, though. I don't feel like
absolutely.
you can come back from this. And even with the relaunching of the site and the response that was posted by Evilore, like, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, that's a shit response.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the site will exist still. I think it's going to take a couple of years for it to die down because I mean, they had so many members. But yeah, I mean, all the really high-profile members, the ones that like really contributed.
I mean, it'll die down when you don't get the journalists, you don't get the.
Oh yeah.
It'll just go away.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's kind of sad. End of an era. I mean, I think I've been on that forum since 2001. So 2001 when it was actually Gaming Age forums. Like it was the forums of the website Gaming Age.
04,
Probably
right?
Nobody even knows about that site. People know about NeoGAF, but they don't know that it came from.
That's what GAF stands for.
Right, Gaming Age.
Yeah.
But then the people that own that website, like the forum got bigger than the website, and they're like, we're not paying for this. And so Evilore, was like, all right, I'll make a forum dedicated to it. And then
I watched a lot of videos on YouTube. There's a lot of people who are on YouTube. Let's take Boogie, a good example. There's just a lot of bitter, like, I don't know. They're like very happy that it's closed down.
Yeah.
And I want to say that like, I really enjoyed what I read on GAF. I'm sure there's like a shit show there, but I really enjoyed what I read there on
well, like any community, you're going to have, some standout bad people, you have standout good people, and then the majority of them are just average. But the thing is, the one good thing about GAF was that they were pretty progressive in their views, especially towards like women and, transgender and stuff like that, politics. But like years ago when like do you guys remember like the Anita Sarkeesian thing came out, the whole thing with like Gamergate came out, like Evilore put a stomp on that, like, no, we're not going to tolerate that kind of bullshit, like ban Boogie, banned all these other people, John, like that kind of stuff, and they're not allowed on the site anymore. So those people and the people that follow them kind of like took an anti-GAF, because us versus them. So that's where you're going to see a lot of, resentment and bitterness and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So, anything you guys want to add over there? Mike?
Not really.
Could not care less, personally.
All right. So, yeah, that's the GAF. That's the implosion of GAF. All right. Moving on with news, we've got a bunch of stuff this week. We've got Switch 4.0 firmware was released. It allows system data transfer, save data transfer, if your system is working. So if you buy a new Switch and you want to give your other one to like your son or your friend, you can transfer your data now. So that's a step in the right direction.
It's a step. It's a step.
As we discussed on Slack again, not the step I want, but it is a step. I will give it a step in the right direction. I guess the biggest things on this are video capture, which they're trying to lengthen. I heard.
Yeah. So right now it's just the initial, the last 30 seconds, and it's only for select games. That's Nintendo first party. The rumor is that they want to expand it to third party games and then increase it to more than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So we'll get there.
Yeah, what else on firmware? What's the big thing you talked about? The download patch ability?
Yeah, so like if we each have a Switch and we're trying to play like Smash Brothers, and one of you hasn't played in a while, so you haven't downloaded the latest patch, instead of having to connect to the internet to download that patch, one of our Switches can give it to you as long as we have the patch.
Okay, that's good.
So,
that's one of the features that I always hated on Microsoft.
Yeah, they need to get that.
It's feature. But that actually works really well now with Windows 10, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, but I like the option.
It killed your network internally.
No, but let's take for a handheld system, that's a great feature to have, because if you're going to a friend's house, you can grab the patch while you're there. Not connected. Yeah, so it's right there for you.
Right.
Well, I think it's not necessarily if you're at your house. It's just if you're out and about with like your friends who have it. Because if you're at your house, you have Wi-Fi.
Let's take Comic-Con, and if we were playing a game there competitively, and it had a patch
right,
that you had,
it makes more sense. Standing in line, doing stuff, and like the Wi-Fi is shit. And,
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to come up that often, but it's cool that it exists. The other big news that kind of came out today, like they didn't talk about, was so the GameCube to Wii U adapter for the controllers apparently works on the Switch firmware 4.0. So you can like plug that in, plug a GameCube controller in, and use the GameCube controller on your Switch.
Which furthers the fuel.
Yeah.
Of the VC, the GameCube VC.
I think so. I mean, it just seems.
I think GameCube is a possibility. I feel like they're going to retro their classics now in the system form. So I think N64 included.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, N64 Classic is definitely coming next year.
Yeah, which I'm going to get too. I have to snag that in a second. So. Right,
but the thing is, I mean, that's targeting different audiences. I mean, the classics are uber casual. Like, hey, I remember having an N64 in college. Like, let me buy one of these and relive the glory days of Mario 64 and Zelda. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying like that's.
I beat Star Fox 1 in about 10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
You could beat that game that quick? Holy crap. I've actually never beaten that first. I never owned it, so I never got to beat it.
Yeah, I think it was about... maybe I'm exaggerating the time length, but I sat down and I ran right through.
I don't believe it.
It's a branching
I think there's only like
game.
6 levels or something, right?
Well, it's a branching path game, so they're all like branches of it, so like you just go straight direct and you're there. So... I remember playing this a lot longer. So, and I remember it being a lot more challenging for some reason. I don't know. Maybe the games these days are a little bit more challenging. I want to play Star Fox 2, though.
It's all the Cuphead.
Maybe Cuphead got me ready for this stuff again. It's possible. 32 more deaths in that game. No bosses defeated.
Jesus.
Well done.
Yeah, I'm in stage 2.
Or not well done.
Those stage 2 bosses they're for real. Like, that is like... Here's the curve for stage 1. Oh, I'm feeling pretty confident with myself. And stage 2 is like scaling a mountain.
Mm.
If those don't have
Did you
video
play
right
Ori?
now, scaling a mountain. What's that?
Did you play Ori?
No, I've always wanted to play Ori, and I have it. I just haven't played it yet. And I'm gonna wait for the update, the Xbox X update. So I might as well play it then. So let's see. Back to Switch news. Shin Megami Tensei 5 announced for the Switch. So guys, exclusive. Corey. What do we think? Persona? What do we think? Is it?
No, that's the thing. It's like,
are we more excited for Persona possibly coming here, or are we like? What is? I'm more excited for Persona personally, but.
Well, yeah.
All right. So you get this announcement, which
Atlus.
tells me, all right, the assets are there.
Yeah.
Everything is capable of being on this system, which obviously is a PS3 game, so there's no problem with it. Switch will easily run it, but it just feels it feels that Persona, I guess, position. So is it more likely or less likely? I don't know now, because personally I think it's it's less likely now that's going to happen.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I see your points, but at the same time, you look at the 3DS, and while it wasn't the mainline games, the 3DS got Persona Q1 and Persona Q2, while also getting
those
Shin Megami
I think
Tensei
are highly
4.
possible that you could see a Persona Q game on the Switch. I don't see it. I don't see a Persona game. I don't see Persona 5 on Switch. I don't see it happening.
I know you don't. I know you don't. But here's the thing.
Not that I don't. I want it to happen.
No, I know. It just. I mean, let's be honest. That's the only way you're really ever going to get Persona finished at this point.
That or play it like on my Surface through remote players.
Oh god.
There was a leak for Persona 5 Ultimate, right?
Yeah, it's just like DLC and
Yeah.
like all the stuff. I don't think it's anything.
Or is that like a fighting game, or is it?
No, it's gonna be the included game. Like, it's the
it's-
golden version I was expecting. Like,
Oh no! You mean just
No,
all
it's
the
too
costume
soon.
packs?
Yeah, all the costume shit.
okay.
I mean, I'm not a fan of the Shin Megami Tensei games.
I'm not either. But
Uh,
I've tried
it's
twice.
like they veered basically once 3 came out. The Persona series basically changed that and became its own thing, and then they kind of made two Shin Megami Tensei games. You don't even get Shin Megami Tensei on their Persona games anymore. So.
Oh no, Persona is definitely bigger than Shin Megami Tensei, but the thing is, it's a niche RPG, so it'll have its demographic. It's just
I don't see why Atlus wouldn't want to throw everything they have on the Switch.
All right, that's what I'm saying.
It is.
Thank you. That's exactly my point.
Well, I know. They should just be throwing everything at it, because like that's what they're doing with 3DS. Like everything that they can is coming out on that system. It's just you still don't have. You didn't get, Persona 4 on the Nintendo system, and you didn't. And I don't know. I just don't see.
Well, I don't think the 3DS could have done Persona 4.
Probably not. But it could have been on the Wii U. I mean,
a lot of things could have been on the Wii U.
Nobody's making that for the Wii U, Corey.
No, I obviously, but I'm just saying that just because.
And even that, like, there's no install base. You're not making that game. I think with the hype of what the Switch has, I think we have a high probability, depending on what this does, to get Persona 5. So.
Well, we have a bet, so I mean, we'll find out. I mean, because if it can happen before 2020, that'd be great, but not happening.
A lot of 2020 calls here with Mass Effect.
It's a nice round number.
Yeah. So, let's go. Let's go with DBZ Fighter news. DBZ Fighter Z it got a release date, January 26th of next year, early, which is good because we saw that game. Mike, you saw it. We all played that. It's pretty far along already.
Yeah.
So
it's been in like betas and stuff.
Yeah. So 8 fighters coming in the DLCs for $39.99 for the season pass for 8 fighters.
It's
a bit steep.
Yeah.
What is
$5 a fighter?
Yeah.
Each fighter is like $3-ish, I want to say, if you buy them.
$250 if you're going with Injustice.
So something like that for I don't know. I got a discount because I bought them all at once.
No, I did the math before. Yeah,
but I mean, that's the idea with this is like you buy it all at once. You should be getting a discount.
Well, if you buy for 8 fighters for $40, that's $5 a fighter. So that's like twice an Injustice fighter.
Yeah, it's a bit pricey, and there's no comment about the collector's edition that comes with this.
What's the default roster number before that?
We don't know.
I don't think we don't have a default roster.
Because if it's like
we
16,
don't even have like the 8 characters. I feel like we should get the 8 characters before they release. Before you buy something, you should know what you're getting.
Yeah,
that's not how it works, Jim. That's not how it works.
Well, let's see. Over the weekend, they confirmed Nappa and Ginyu and Raccoon. I think.
Was it Raccoon?
I think I want to say it was Raccoon.
I
mean, like, if it's 3 or is it 2? It's 3, right? 3 per team.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it's 3 per team, you want a pretty robust roster. I'm thinking like 24 at least.
Oh, at least I expect 30.
You would hope so. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, they could really pad it too, because it's like some of the Dragon Ball Z games historically have been like, oh, Goku's a character, but then like Super Saiyan Goku is also a character. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
like
Old and young versions of characters.
Yeah, well, I mean, that I can understand that more than it's like, oh, he's just permanently in Super Saiyan. It's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
sure, stuff like that. But
Super Saiyan.
yep, nope, they've done that. Where it's like Golden Super Saiyans. Wait, what? But yeah, no, I mean, definitely priced a little high. I'm excited, but I think the thing is they know they can get away with it at this point because like Dragon Ball is just so hot right now. It's absurd again.
That's the kind of like season pass I'll get on discount.
Oh yeah.
And I'll get that on discount. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about NPD. All
right.
Bring some numbers into this game. Switch was the #1 hardware selling console for the month of September.
Current generation. You got to specify because technically the SNES Classic was the #1.
Oh, was it? I didn't see that actually. Oh my God, SNES Classic. Talk about numbers. They made a good amount of them then. They made a good amount of them. Yeah, so Switch took the top spot for the current generation consoles then. PlayStation 4 the top grossing sales for a console. Obviously, it's $349 and $399 compared to $299. So
the Pro is $349.
Oh,
right?
Is it $299 for the PS4?
I think it has been. I mean, I see it on sale.
PS4 was the #1 in terms of sales.
I don't know. What is the
sales,
Pro? I thought the Pro is
dollars.
I don't know what the difference
Dollars
between the Pro and
compared
the
to units.
regular one.
Yeah, units sold Switch. Dollar amount PS4. There we go.
Right.
That's the
but I
stat.
mean, so what is the price of the PS4 now? I thought it was $300.
I thought it was $349, $399 still.
Yeah, I thought it was.
No, there's no way that's still $340.
I thought it was
It's like
$299.
Xbox Ones are like under $200.
Yeah. But the thing is,
$350.
wasn't the big thing the Destiny 2 bundles?
It's
Last month?
$349. I'm right. It's $349.
Really?
Yeah.
With what? With like a
you'll never
7
find it in,
terabyte hard drive?
For the record, you'll never find it in the store for $349 because I'm sure there's bundles and all that stuff. But the retail price, suggested retail price, is $349.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know. On Amazon right now, PlayStation 4 Slim 1 terabyte, $299.
Really?
Bestseller. Yeah.
I'm getting $349. Wait.
You're getting screwed.
Yeah.
You have to be looking at like the
old
Destiny
data
bundle.
I'm just looking. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, it must be the bundles. Shit. All right.
I don't know. I mean, not that it's a big deal. It's just I would be shocked if you can get an Xbox for less than $200 with Minecraft, and they're still selling PS4s for over $300.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's true. I mean, we're not even talking about the Xbox One sales. I mean, talk about a terrible year for Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, you go to Costco, the Xbox One set, like Xbox is
I heard
$190.
Yeah, I looked at it and I held the box and I was like, wait, nah.
I would like to, at this point in time, mention OG Xbox backwards compatibility is live for the first 13 games, and they actually feature enhancements.
Yeah, they did the KOTOR thing.
I mean,
I have
all of them
KOTOR
get
somewhere.
1080p up resolutions and full frame, 60 frames per second. A lot of them.
I mean, that's awesome. You know, good for them.
I mean, whatever they're doing for their emulation, they've nailed it. Like they've gotten that down. I guess their bank for this year, this generation now has been because we don't have the games for this generation. We're gonna just rehash our old stuff. It's no shot at them directly, but you know, like it's enticing, I guess, for like Tony, $180 to play, Geometry Wars 2, play KOTOR and stuff like that, plus the current stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Castle
I mean, I got
Crashers.
a lot of GameStop credit, So.
You know Black Friday, you'll find them for under $200.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Well, they're under $200 right now, so
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you'll find them readily though. So,
yeah, it could be as low as like $150.
Could be.
Black Friday.
Could be.
With like 4 games.
So,
yeah, and that's the thing is like I'll be spending more on Xbox Live than I will on the fucking system.
Yep.
Just get those cards from GameStop.
No, I know I could. I'm not actually gonna pay real money
For
on my
anything.
bank account. Right. I'm just saying like, after like 2.5 years, I'll probably have spent more on
Yeah.
the Xbox Live stuff.
Well, that's how they're making money, man.
No, exactly. That was my point with Nick the other day. It's like It's the ecosystem. It's not about
You guys got like, I don't know if Nick does it, but he needs to get that Bing action going because
I'm doing it. Like I got a free Xbox Live
12
for the
months,
year.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I have almost enough for 2. So I'm on my
Yeah,
way.
I'm at 27,000 points right now, so I got 2,000 to go.
Well,
And
I haven't cashed in on the 29 yet for the original, so I'm gonna just pick that up. I left it in there, so I'm like 46,000 points right now. So
And I cashed my 29,000 in June, so it's been like 4 months.
yeah,
It took 4 months to get back to 29,000.
yeah. I mean, I don't religiously do it, but if I knew I was getting 29,000 points, I would stay on it every weekend and stuff. But yeah, so
I mean,
I'll get to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it again anyways. Xbox Live from now on is going to be free. So just to start something.
Back to MPD. So
Back to MPD. Software.
Corey.
Oh wait.
Yeah, Corey should be happy.
Oh yeah.
Destiny 2 is now the best-selling game in 2017, and third in the charts for the best-selling titles in the last 12 months.
Yep.
Yeah, so all of
That's
those
kinda-
rumors
that's-
about it selling terribly were unfair.
Well, not that that's false. I mean,
No,
it's
they just were playing with numbers the right way to make it look
Well,
No,
because MPD is finally getting the digital sales.
digital sales.
bad. Yeah.
So, like,
So-
yeah, and a lot of the reports and stuff were based on projections and physical sales and what you could, read off of what people are seeing. It's hard to see what people are buying digitally. So,
Right, because only Sony
yeah.
and
And so I don't know if it goes to show that people are really moving over to digital, but because I don't think it is like you were saying, like that
Certain-
difference is
I think
there.
certain
But
games are. I mean, this game lends itself to
But this
digital.
is right, and this is one of those games where you don't want to get up and change it like the disc constantly. I know Mike.
Well, not
your
only
cousin
that, but
Mike
it's like you got to look at
bought
like
it
when I
digitally
buy a
'cause he
disc of a
wanted to
game.
change discs.
When I buy a disc of a game, I'm looking at more like I can trade it in later. This isn't one of those trade-in games. You usually just keep
Right.
it. So, it's
Yeah.
not really.
Plus, by the time the next one comes out, they won't even take back the old disc. 'cause
Exactly.
They won't take back Destiny 1.
Like I'm gonna go throw this out, this legendary edition of Destiny Taken King, because it's just kind of useless. So.
worthless.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean,
Well-
just goes to show that digital is a big force. Destiny 2.
Didn't
Yeah,
didn't
they can-
Nintendo announce that? I thought
And
Metroid
today
was in the
it
top 10
released on
originally.
PC, so it'll be interesting to see how that affects the numbers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nintendo released their numbers before the corrections, and I thought, did that change where Metroid fell? I think
No,
they
I-
said top 10 on that one.
they said. What did they say?
That's what I was trying to remember, because I thought it was weird that I didn't see it in the top 10.
Yeah. Well, let's just go over the top 10.
Yeah, let's do it.
Destiny 2 beat out NBA 2K18, which is shocking for me, and I'm glad you didn't bet
I'm
me.
surprised too.
I'm very glad you didn't bet me, because I was willing to bet on
There
that.
is a lot of negative reactions to that game.
I think-
Not
I
just
think the
not
microtransactions
just
are
DC, man.
PC
It's a
things,
DC.
not just that. There's like gameplay problems people have with it too.
Yeah?
Of course, people always complain about this game, but there's a lot of people playing it, so you'll get complaints. But people are pissed at
I mean-
2K right now.
You got to figure that EA is pretty happy despite the fact that they just canned their studio. I mean, you got Madden at number 3, FIFA at 4, NHL's on the list in 8.
I mean, EA is always happy no matter what happens.
Maybe, but so you got Destiny, NBA 2K18, Madden, FIFA, Mario got number 6. Mario and Rabbids, the Kingdom Battle game, is at number 6 on the chart. Did that not?
It's at number
count?
5.
Number 5? Oh, I'm sorry, number 5.
Yeah, and
So
that's
they-
without digital.
Without
so.
digital, no digital
I'm-
on that.
I think I said it would be be in the top.
I thought it
5,
was
maybe.
counting
Yeah.
for last month. I didn't know that was counting for September.
Yeah, because it was just the way the NPD they have their reports. Like they always miss a couple days at the tail end.
Yeah. All right. So the shocker at number 6 on this list, MVC Infinite.
Yep, Marvel's
Outperformed.
Cap.
When we had our podcast, I know a lot of us picked that to be the underperformer of the month.
Yeah.
So definitely not that. I don't have the top 20 list here to give you the underperformer, but GTA 5.
You named it. You gave it power.
Overperformer.
You gave it power.
Now I'm feeling sick. Oh God. GTA 5 at 7. NHL at
It's like,
8.
where is it on the old 2017 list? Because it's pretty high up there, right?
It's
Number
always
6
in the
EA.
top 10. It's always in the top
Yeah,
10.
it's number 6 for best-selling games of
of
2017.
2017.
Yeah, 2017. They don't even have to they don't have to do anything, Rockstar.
They came out recently and talked
I mean,
about
they
that
do.
they're-
They do still update the online.
That's because
Yeah.
They came
That's
out
what's
and they
making
talked
it
about the fact
unfolded.
that they're still dedicated to a single player game.
Mm-hmm.
So
And they explained why there was no single player DLC, which
Yeah.
I don't know what they said though. So can't
And-
report.
I'm sure they said story reasons or something silly like that.
NHL 18 at 8, Breath of the Wild at 9, and Rainbow Six at 10. That's your top 10.
Rainbow Six,
Rainbow
staying
Six
in
is
there,
still
man.
selling. Wow.
Yeah.
At least Wildlands not on there.
Yeah.
The Wildlands is still like number 2 or
I
something
know.
in best selling games of
Destiny just beat
2017.
it. Destiny just beat it.
Yep. Just narrowly missing the top of the charts. 12 was Metroid Samus Returns, but again, that's not digital, and this is sorted by revenue. So it was a 3DS title, so it's only $40 as opposed to the
so
$60
that's- That was
titles.
done by revenue, yeah.
Pokken Tournament DX number 13. Again, no digital. Overwatch at number 14.
When is Nintendo going to get these digital numbers in there? Because that's like
It's got to be soon because
Is Blizzard? The Blizzard doesn't show their digital numbers, though, right?
no, it doesn't.
Well, Destiny 2
Blizzard
doesn't have
Nintendo.
BattleNet numbers. Yeah, that's at number
So
1
I-
without BattleNet.
Well, no, BattleNet is for the PC.
Oh, that's right. It's not.
Which
even
isn't
out.
It's not out
Yes.
yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just think about that too.
So.
Yeah.
Well, it was out today while we're recording, so we'll see.
Overall, hardware grew 34% a year ago. So that's pretty good.
New system still.
Yep.
Console software was huge though.
What's that?
Console software.
Oh yeah.
It was up 52%. $477 million last year. $726 million this year.
What was out last year at this time? There wasn't much, right?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Yeah, I mean, this year has been so much better than last year, software-wise. It's not even close.
Overwatch took me through October,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
and then I actually through November until Final Fantasy came out.
Right. That's what I've been saying all year. Like 2017 just kicked the shit out of 2016.
Yeah.
Like
That was it was
like my
kind of a
third
bad
game.
year.
Our third and fourth games of this year are probably going to be better than
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, you just talk about like
They
the
could have been
first
game of the
couple
year
months.
last year. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we're saying.
Yeah, like you have games that you're playing just now that came out in February.
Yeah.
With like Nier and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, you got Mario coming out this week. That could be another game of the year candidate.
Compared to last year, I think Sonic Mania could have been game of the year for me
I mean, it could.
last year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Last year was slim pickings, and now it's just a gluttony of
Yeah,
shit. What do
yeah.
we do?
I gotta say,
Yep.
like, I missed one bit of news here. PUBG is getting a physical release on Xbox One X or Xbox One. I'm sorry, which we assumed, but it's confirmed.
Mhm.
So
I didn't assume that at all.
I did.
was-
I'm sorry.
I
Like
assumed it
I
wouldn't.
said last week, I said like they're going to release it just like they did Fortnite. That's what I assumed always. So when
Yeah,
heard
I figured
this
at some point, but the thing is, we
Yeah,
haven't
at some
heard
point.
anything about this. So, like,
Well, wait. Is it getting released day and date that
they have no
gets?
information on that. They're just saying it's going to get a physical release.
Sure. And I assume it would get a physical release at some point when it's out, not in early
No,
access.
I think it's getting an early access launch. I'm telling you, you're going to see it physically. You're going to see it like Fortnite. It's going to be like Fortnite.
I'll bet on that too, Jim.
You want to bet? Because like, listen,
I bet.
I got an NPD guy that said me too when I made that statement to him on Twitter. So he thinks the same way I'm thinking.
Well, I'm thinking you're talking about me too with the freaking.
No, yeah, no.
Oh no.
Jim and this
Here's
NPD guy
what I
making
think.
insensitive
I think
jokes.
that it comes out digitally, and then the physical comes out after.
I think it launches. I think it comes
So
out. very
you
soon.
think it launches day and date with digital?
Yes, available on the
So
Xbox.
what if it's a week later on physical? You would lose, Jim.
Yeah,
Okay, I'd take that bet then.
you got it. Let's do it.
Wow, 2 bets tonight.
Spicing it up.
I'm gonna
You
write that
gotta-
one down so I don't forget. That one I can forget. So
Got a movie bet and a gaming bet. Why not?
I'm sorry, I'm writing that down. So PUBG. Physical
One of them I
release.
do think I'm gonna lose with Thor. Fortnite. PUBG I don't think I'm gonna lose. I think they're gonna try to get that out as soon as possible and not worry about manufacturing discs.
I'm almost positive we're going to see PUBG on Xbox Live early access rushed before Christmas. Like,
Nope.
they're going to do anything, any fucking thing they can just to have it online and
Nope.
fucking
And I
sell
think it'll be in the
content.
store then too. I really
Dude,
do.
it takes at least a month to get that shit like printed and stuff like. Not to
You
mention
gotta
it has
get the
to go
gold
quality.
copy
Yeah,
of it and shit.
there's no way.
It's gonna,
There's no
it's gonna
way.
require internet. It's gonna be on the disc. You're gonna go home and it's gonna just download the game. That's how it's gonna work.
Yeah. No, I mean I can appreciate that, obviously. Especially a lot of people don't understand the digital thing, but I could see it coming out digitally a week before it comes out physically.
Nope. All right, let's get into what we've been up to.
Hold on, before you move on. So the one interesting thing here,
Just one.
basically, I can't find it in this report. But basically, it said the SNES Classic in the 1 month is now the best-selling Nintendo Classic system, which means in the first month it already shipped and sold more copies than the NES Classic had in its entire year-long run. So,
Did it sell more than were ever made of the NES Classic?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's part of it.
Yeah. So,
All right, let's get into what we've been up to. Mike, kick us off.
I'm still playing some Destiny 2, although it's mostly PvP at this point. There's not much else I can do. Although,
how do you like the PvP? Because it's very decisive on the Destiny
divisive.
forums.
I like it, but I do wish you could choose instead of just be randomly like into one of the game modes. And I just wish there was more to it, like a bigger team stuff. I predict that there will be in expansions that they'll screw around with it a bit. But I did the Iron Banner stuff. I maxed out that. That was fun, just because you get extra shit for no good reason, just by doing that for a bit. You have the other guy talking, which is funny. And
It's the same guy that does Reaper, by the way. And if you get a 20 kill streak, he'll go die.
it's fun.
oh yeah, I did. I have incredible highs and lows as far as my like performance in these games. Like I did have like maybe a 15 kill streak going, which I've never done on Halo, but I did it here.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is it doesn't count kill. It counts kills and assists as one number now. Thing. So like you can tap somebody 3 times and you'll get the credit for it.
It's like the Overwatch formula. Yeah.
Yep.
But so that's
which
probably
makes it.
why.
I like that better, just because you could bring someone down to like 99%. Someone just taps them and gets the kill credit for it. It's like, come on, man. So like I appreciate that you can get it both ways this time.
There might be a threshold. I'm not sure, because there has been times where I've like hit someone and I don't think it's counted. But so, but then other times I would get like destroyed and have like an awful like KD. But it's still fun, and it's just mostly like an interesting place to try out the new weapons you get. The thing is, it's totally different what works in that than what you want to level up your light and stuff. Because normally the best light weapon you have is like a sniper rifle or something, which you just do not want to use as a power weapon in the PvP because it's useless. But, I'm still playing that, and more Rocket League, and I just got to say, start back, stay back, people. It's a very simple concept. There's no excuse for a face-off goal ever in this game. Start back, stay back, at least for the first exchange. That's it.
When is that hitting Switch, Tony?
December, I think.
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Cross-play with Xbox.
Yep.
Yeah, too bad Sony is just
dicking around with themselves.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Corey.
Yeah, I've been playing Destiny a little bit more, obviously, as well. Just like, again, for me, it's a very good social game, and I do like to check in and every week just kind of try to complete all the different milestones that they have. So I've been enjoying it, and I'm very curious to see how the PC impacts the console side of things, because I know a bunch of people that are already like swapping, like moving over to PC. So double dipping.
Wow.
It's a real shame that you can't just have your character existing on the server and just play on what you want to.
Stupid. Yeah.
I mean, at least for
Sony
PvE content.
Shit. Yeah.
Well, then they should just fucking make a deal with, so you can do Xbox and PC. You know?
He's not even saying play together. He's talking about just your character.
Yeah.
No, I know. I absolutely understand that. That is one of the things that people have been clamoring for since day one on Destiny, because It doesn't
Another
make
update,
any
another
sense. You would
expansion.
sell more copies if you did that.
Yeah,
Because you wouldn't have to
it on
worry.
both.
Like
I would have it on
I'm not
both, 'cause I can
buying the
pop it on
PS4
mic.
version because I don't want to have to grind all that shit over again that I've already done.
Yeah, that might actually. No, it wouldn't sell me on Xbox One, but
But I'm saying it only helps
it'd be a
people.
factor.
Because of the stupid PlayStation's exclusivity shit. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's like they have these certain weapons and gear that you can only get if you have a PlayStation, and so Sony's paying big bucks to not allow that kind of stuff to happen. And it's like it's just anti-consumer at that point. Because I would have.
Why can't you just like not be able to play that on the other system? Then just like you don't have that when you.
Sony's paying them not to let that happen.
I know, but like if
they
it's.
don't want you to buy it on Xbox.
No, you can't. You just don't have it at all. There's no access to it. Like you get locked out.
Yeah, but what are you going to do if you own the PlayStation version, you have one of those items or weapons, and then you want to play on PC with your PC friends?
Can't use it, but
You just can't use those weapons anymore.
Like they're locked out because you're not on, and that's the problem. Is it's stupid. It's just stupid because there's no real good reason for it.
For sure.
Whatsoever.
I agree.
No, it's the PlayStation having like such an obvious lead in like install base, at least as far as they perceive. I don't even know how true it is anymore. I mean, it's probably
worldwide. It's huge.
Yeah, it's
US, it's not as much, but worldwide.
But this is the disadvantage of it. Like competition is always good, and they just really don't care. They're like, we have the install base, so we're gonna dictate exclusivity, pretty much.
Yeah. Other than that, haven't really got a chance to play much else.
Alright.
Video gaming wise.
Alright. I've been playing South Park, The Fractured Butthole.
I've watched a little gameplay of that online.
So it's one of those rare games that's actually PlayStation Pro enhanced. Yeah, so it runs in 4K 60 frames.
Is it still buggy as fuck?
It's far less buggy than the first game. It runs very smooth. It runs 60 frames per second pretty much constantly. It has some dips every now and again. But it runs at 4K. It looks great on my TV. Very happy with that. The game is a lot of fun. It picks up right after the first game. Which is why they give you the first game in this game. Like you can play the first game as well if you buy this game like within the first. If you just go out and buy it now, you'll be able to get the first game. But it picks up right after that. And it's all based on like superheroes. So like I'm building my hero right now, where I have I'm a speed hero mixed with like storm powers essentially. So I picked like you get to pick your elemental abilities, strength, and so I'm like I kind of have like Storm's abilities and Flash's abilities. So I thought that would kind of go together. It's a pretty cool combination. Combat's very basic, but it was like that in the first game. It's a turn-based combat, but they throw in every now and again they throw in some real-time combat. Like, so you actually have to pay attention. You can't just sit there and think. So they'll throw that in there. So you have to keep an eye on that. But they have, like, artifact enhancements. It's a bit easy, the game, but it's extremely enjoyable. Like, that makes it, like, far better.
I mean, if you love the show,
yeah.
I don't see how you could not like
if you're a fan of South Park, you should play this game. There's no question. No question. You owe it to yourself to play this game. Because you are in an episode of South Park, and it is spot on graphically.
Do they call you the kid? Like, hey kid?
Hey new kid. It's the hey new kid the whole time. And you don't have a voice, you just stare at them blankly. But you can change your hairstyles. A lot of customizations.
Is it if you were black, the game's harder?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can increase the difficulty, but it doesn't actually increase the difficulty. It's just more of like a joke from them, just so you know.
Okay.
Oh, it's just a joke?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a joke. Because you can actually set your combat difficulty to a lot higher in the game. So,
Caucasian black.
Yeah, they did it as a joke, which is great for them. That's what they do. So, the combinations. There's character combinations. There's like basic fart jokes. There's it's all over the place. I mean the strip clubs.
Elementary school kids.
Yeah,
going to strip clubs.
So, you didn't beat Maron Rabbids?
No, I lost in that game.
You didn't beat Nier?
Nope, I haven't played enough Nier at all.
Gave up on Yakuza?
Well, Rabbids for me is like it's fine, but there's like not a huge draw to come back to it. Like the story's nothing great. It's fine. It's nothing a bad game. It's just like I'd rather like this game is what I've been waiting for. So I'm gonna play it through. Then I got Mario, and then I'm going to probably Nier. So
I doubt you're going near after Mario.
Yes, I got near. Damn it! I mean, I got what else? What else is coming out that I'm gonna play? Like besides
Star Wars Battlefront, Chronicles, there's Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
That's December. I got to December.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I said, you're not gonna get to near.
November's an open month for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's already November, dude.
not yet. I got time.
Not yet.
You got like 1 week, and then
I'm 6
November,
hours-
and then
I'm-
you think you're gonna beat Mario in a month and be done with Mario and go to
Yeah.
Nier,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
not
yeah,
go to
yeah.
Chronicles.
That's that type of game.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think. I
No,
can
I'm
get to
saying-
Mario.
it's a single player game.
But I'm saying, and then you're not gonna play Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, I will play Xenoblade, but
That's what I'm saying. Like you're not beating Nier in like 2 weeks, Jim.
no.
Uh,
I
mean,
can
you
could.
beat it. I just
You
can't get all the
can.
endings.
You gotta beat it 3 times.
Yeah.
yeah. Which is what I've been up to. I beat it once.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is it a weird story? Is it that weird? Like it's I
Dude.
it's really weird.
Dude, it's seriously like an anime. I'm not gonna reference which specific anime. I mean, there's a bunch, but there's one where I'm just like, I saw the scene like about to like a cutscene. I was like, are they gonna do what I think they're gonna do? Yeah, they're totally doing what I think they're about to do. Yep, this is happening. Okay, I just started laughing. I'm just like sitting here in my apartment alone, and I just start laughing at my TV when something completely serious and dark is going on. I'm just like,
Huh.
yep, like bravo. Ending A was what they call it. Just so weird. Just like you're like, yep, okay, all right, we'll go with that. Start it up, and you play as one of the different characters, and it's like, yeah, go do this. And I wasn't paying attention to the map where they wanted me to go, so I just go off the one side, and it just starts playing the credits, and it's like, yeah, like this happened, like your character deserted the army and stuff like that, and just ending. I was like, wait, what? I didn't even know that was a thing. So apparently there are a lot of goofy endings like that. But the second character is just not as fun to play. Sorry. In the traditional sense, it's not as fun because he's not as combat-oriented as 2B is. His gimmick is he's a hacker type, and he hacks the enemies for you because the whole time you're playing through Route A as 2B, which is really weird now that you say it out loud.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to hack the enemy for you, and we'll expose like the weakness, or I'll take control of the turret, or whatever dumb stuff. And now you play as Route B as 9S, and his gimmick is that he hacks the enemies, and the screen zooms in, and you see this like pseudo retro pixel shooter, almost like Geometry Wars almost, and you have to like defeat the core, and then you hack the unit. So like you'll like press and hold triangle, and you hack like the giant robot, and then it just zooms in really quick, and it's like destroy you like the enemy core and stuff like that, and you play like this 2D Geometry Wars type shooter thing, and then you hack the enemy. And I'm like, that's cool, but for bigger enemies it's fine, but for smaller enemies it's just such a chore. I'm just like, oh, like I don't want to do that for that. I'd just rather just slash the button. So for this, entirely in the purpose of getting to Mario quicker, and everything else, I'm just like, you know what? I already beat the game technically once, so I just want easy mode in this route, which I like how Nier does easy mode, because I know that's been a thing in the community about like, oh, you should just be able to like skip boss fights, or all the dumb shit with like the loot crate stuff. If you select the easy mode difficulty, what happens is you unlock these like what they call chips, which are basically ability skills or something that you would equip in like Diablo or any other action RPG type thing. There are certain ones that are just like automatically shoot, like because the one button is how you shoot your gun, and you have to hold it down. And this, it'll automatically shoot. There's a chip that just goes, yeah, automatically dodge enemy attacks. You're just like, I can just sit here and like hold my controller, and my character is going to completely do it. There's one that just says like automatically attack an enemy if it gets like close to you. You're just like, all right, like sure, I'll just let the game play. You just hold the joystick, and your character will just do all these fancy ass combos and destroy enemies and stuff. So that's what I've been resorting to primarily. The only thing I manually do at this point is when I fight like a big group of enemies or a boss, I just go into my items, select the attack up buffs, and just let the game play itself. I'm just like, yep, there you go. So I'm just blitzing the shit through the second route, because apparently the third route is where all the ridiculous stuff happens. So I don't know if I'm getting to it before Mario though on Friday, because My new class started up on Thursday, so it's going to eat a chunk of my time. But we'll see. November, like I said, is open. On that, also started Fire Emblem Warriors. That I'm just playing at work at lunch, because I can, because that's the Switch. And that game is actually a lot of fun. I know if you played Dynasty War games, you've already played like 90% of the core gameplay. Yep. But the other 10% is really cool because they take like the Fire Emblem element where you press start and you see the 2D grid of the map, and you can actually be. So the one cool thing is you can switch between characters on the fly in this one. So you assemble your party and you just send them all over the map and be like, hey, I want you to take over this fort. Well, I go take over the bridge or something like that. And you can just freely swap between it. They actually introduced the casual/classic mechanic where, like, if a character dies, they're gone for the rest of the game. And I wasn't paying attention, and I let this character die. And I was like, oh, well, that sucks. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to revert this back because I don't feel like playing that fucking map again and redoing it all. So it's fun. I really like the ability to switch between graphics mode and what they call performance mode, because the graphics, it's like higher resolution, locked 30 frame rate for that. Or you can do performance where it's like locked 60 FPS, but lower resolution, stuff like that. And that makes a huge difference in just like the way the game plays. It's just like smooth as butter. So
yeah.
I would love to see that option implemented in more games, because I think didn't Last of Us do that too, or something like that on the
Last of Us
PlayStation 4?
They have it on Pro now.
Oh, is it Pro? Okay.
Well, no,
they did it on regular, actually, didn't they? Because they did it with.
You could lock 60 if you want.
They did that with Tomb Raider as well, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it'd be a cool thing to do going forward with more games on any system, really.
Cool. Yeah. Well, especially one that's based on like 2 different resolutions when you're playing. So like if you're in a handheld, so like if you're on your TV, 720p it'll look the same as your handheld. It's just running 60 frames constantly, so you're getting used to the frame rate anyways.
Right. Exactly.
I think that would work better.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would have preferred to have Zelda running at 720 and 60 frames locked, or whatever it was, 30 frames locked, rather than the dips, because the dips took away like crazy in the certain areas, obviously. So
yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. I think that's gonna wrap up the Gamescast. I don't think we have anything else to add, right? Thanks for tuning in. Write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter at allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tune in next week. We'll have some Halloween Mario stuff to talk about, I guess. I don't know. It'll be Halloween when we record this. So thanks for listening. Thanks for viewing. Zombear.